International Union of Muslim Scholars, and formerly translated as the International Association of Muslim Scholars. IAMS is an organization of Muslim scholars headed by the ideological leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, Yusuf al-Qaradawi, founded in 2004, and headquartered in Qatar. The organization is designated as a terrorist group by the United Arab Emirates for its association with the Muslim Brotherhood and because of statements issued by its leader condoning acts of violence, like suicide bombings. The union stands by Hamas in its defense of the Palestinian people and endorses the Saudi-led efforts in Yemen. In the wake of the Charlie Hebdo attacks, the union called upon the United Nations to make contempt of religions and the prophets and holy sites illegal. IAMS also issued a fatwa in 2004 asserting that resisting U.S. troops in Iraq was the duty of Muslims. There are at least 90,000 Muslim scholars to be found in the union, who claim to bring together Sunni, Shia, and Abadi Muslims. According to Islamopedia, membership in the union is open for scholars who graduated from Sharia universities and Islamic studies departments at various universities or have a relevant background. Quote, "They also accept all of those who care of and attend to the sciences of Sharia and Islamic civilization, who have significant writings in the field, or have contributed to some tangible activity thereof." According to the IAMS website, the IAMS does not follow any certain country, group, or sect. It is not hostile to governments, but rather seeks to open windows of cooperation for the good of Islam and Muslims. According to President al-Qaradawi, the International Union plays a political role in Arab and Muslim issues through mediation efforts. For example, they tried to mediate between various factions in Egypt before 2013 and Yemen before the Houthi expansion. They claim to have conducted successful mediation efforts in Kyrgyzstan in 2010 between the Kyrgyz and the Uzbeks. The IAMS distinguishes itself from other Muslim organizations in its aims to be international. IAMS is not a local or a regional union, neither an Arab nor a national one, neither an Eastern nor a Western union. Rather, it represents all of the Muslims in the entire Islamic world, as well as all of the Muslim minorities and Islamic groups outside of the Muslim world. According to one source, the IAMS was founded to promote dialogue between Muslim scholars of all stripes and includes prominent Shia figures in its desired characteristics. The IAMS includes being by Muslims for Muslim and about Islam, international, independent of governments and sects, interested in scholarly Islamic knowledge, teaching, and education, concerned with the call to Islam by tongue, pen, and every contemporary legitimate medium, be it recorded, or audio, or visual, moderation, and vitality. Also, according to Islamopedia, IAMS sets as a goal the representation of Muslims living in countries where non-Muslims constitute the majority, such to enhance bilateral cooperation and promote Islamic scholarship and dissemination. Officials, location, funding. Scholars who are currently or have been at one time officials include the President, Yusuf al-Qaradawi, who has called for the death of Jews and Americans and is banned from visiting the U.S. Interpol issued an arrest for him in 2014 after an alert was sent out by an Egyptian judge for agreement, incitement and assistance to commit intentional murder, helping the prisoners to escape, arson, vandalism and theft. The vice presidency of the union is shared by Ahmed al-Raisuni. Abdullah bin Bayer. Observers say that bin Bayer resigned because the union president's speeches that call for violence in Arab Spring countries and declare jihad on some regimes do not conform to bin Bayer's vision of peace, the end of bloodshed, and tolerance. Ahmed bin Muhammad al-Khalili. Abdul Hadi Awang. The Secretary-General is Ali Muhyiddin al-Qaradawi. Other notable figures in the IUMS include Faisal Malawi, Jamal Badawi, and Assam al-Bashir. Some of its officials have been linked to the Muslim Brotherhood. According to Report.org, IUMS was launched on July 11, 2004 in conjunction with a visit by Yusuf al-Qaradawi to London for a meeting of the European Council for Fatwa and Research. The IUMS was headquartered at the Islamic Cultural Centre of Ireland near Dublin, Ireland, with the offices of the Secretary-General in Nasser City, Egypt. In May 2012, a charity dinner in Qatar raised the equivalent of $6.5 million for the Renaissance of a Nation endowment project of the IUMS. Views. In 2002, the International Association of Muslim Scholars ruled that resisting occupation troops in Iraq is a duty on all able Muslims whether they are in Iraq or outside Iraq, and that aiding the occupier is impermissible. In 2008, Salim Ali WW, Secretary-General of the IUMS, opposed Egypt's birth control program, stating, "The state is not God and the state is not the creator. We should not try to limit the number of children." In 2010, the International Union for Muslim Scholars caused controversy when it called from the tomb of Piras Nafavandi to be destroyed, a suggestion which was not well received by some in Iran, having been perceived as a specifically anti-Iranian act. In 2015, the leader of IAMS, speaking about Hamas, stated, "We view Hamas from the perspective of the Palestinian cause, which must remain the preeminent cause not just for the Union but for all Arabs, Muslims, and free humanitarians in the world. We stand against oppression, tyranny, displacement and detention tactics that Israeli occupation forces rely on. This is a humanitarian and an international stance. Hamas is defending the rights of the nation, and the nation must stand by those who defend its preeminent cause." In 2015, after the Charlie Hebdo attack, IUMS condemned the publication of the Prophet Muhammad cartoon holding a "Je suis Charlie" sign with the words "All is forgiven" written below. The group appealed to Muslims to continue to protest but not to resort to violence. IUMS condemned the Houthi coup in Yemen. They advised the Houthi to return home and to stop compromising the legitimate government of Yemen. They fully endorse the Saudi-led war in Yemen. From a religious legal perspective, IUMS says one must stand with the legitimate government and cannot back a coup. Quote, "They used this mentality to disagree with Saudi Arabia on the coup in Egypt and the ousting of Mohammed Morsi." International Relations. On 13 June 2013, Abdullah bin Bayer met with Obama administration officials in Washington where he lobbied for help with the Syrian opposition forces. U.S. National Security Council official Gail Smith asked for the meeting looking for new mechanisms to communicate with you and the Association of Muslim Scholars. Bin Bayer also met with Rashad Hussain, U.S. envoy to the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. The IUMS was designated a terrorist organization in the United Arab Emirates in 2014, with the Emirati government alleging that the organization has ties to the Muslim Brotherhood. The action was taken amid a controversy between Qatar and other GCC states, during which a number of states downgraded relations with Qatar and recalled their ambassadors as a result of Qatar's backing of the Muslim Brotherhood. The group wavers between rejection of and support for Russian intervention in the Syrian war. In early 2015, they called for a rejection of Russian engagement in Syria, but after the appeal of about 40 Muslim scientists in Russia, the Union changed their minds. The Russian Muslim scientists argued that the Union should not allow themselves to be led by the nose by Western globalization, and should first try to eliminate the threat of IS together with Russia. Quote, Russian members of the Union appealed to the international organization on the basis that Russia has never helped create a tense situation in any Arab country. Quote, after the Russian scientists threatened to leave the Union, the IAMS declared that the Russian Federation should be actively involved in the restoration of security and peace in Syria.